One of the jobs that I am applying to doesn't pay a lot, but it requires so much. So you have to have a degree. Like, pretty much anybody can do the job. I'm not going to get into what it is, but you have to have a degree. And you have to clear a bunch of background checks and check some and do some extra courses and stuff, which I've done. I've done it. So I go to apply. After months and months of taking the extra courses that I need to take. So I go to apply, and I get a message back, and it says, oh, we got your application. Awesome. We need 4 more things, which was actually like 7 more things or something, because it was some stuff that I had to upload, like the transcripts from, even though I had already uploaded my regular transcripts, they needed the transcripts from the additional classes. Can't remember what else, but the other thing was 3 more background checks. I already did the federal one. No, 3 more. One was a consumer reports, which I guess is like a credit check. How are you going to check somebody's credit when you pay what you pay? If I had been making what you pay, my credit would be jacked. My credit will probably be jacked working for you. Right now, my credit's fine. But I'm confused. No health insurance, no nothing like that, you know? It's bizarre. Another one was, like, there was 2 local, like, state background check, and then another, I can't remember what it was. And it said that those forms were attached. I'm like, okay. So I print out those forms. And at the top of each of those 3 forms, the other stuff I could just email, because I had it saved as PDFs, right? But those 3 forms I printed out. I'm like, okay, well, at the top of each of those forms, or at the bottom of each of those forms, it had please send to, and it had an address, right? So I'm like, oh, so I must be sending those out. But I wasn't totally sure, so I wrote the woman back and said, good evening. I have attached the documents and completed the additional background check forms. I will send them out through USPS tomorrow to the corresponding addresses on the instructions of each background check. Let me know if this is everything you need to move forward. Because, okay, so at the top says, after this is complete, I will meet you for your badge and orientation. Basically, like, you're in. As soon as this is complete, you're in. Like, oh, cool, all right. So then I wrote her that. I attached what I could, and then those other 3 things that I printed, I'm like, make sure I'm doing this right. I'm just going to clarify here. I'll send her a response to that. I will check tomorrow when I return to the office, but I never request a background check authorization form to be mailed to me. Please hold until I get back to you. 3 weeks go by. 3 weeks go by. Every couple of days, every day, I'm checking, like, because you don't want to be a pest. Like, you're basically, the ball's in their freaking court, and she said, please wait. So 3 weeks go by. Yesterday. Me. Good afternoon. I was just following up. I sent the additional background checks around November 15th. No, on November 15th. Will I receive a notification when those are received by the pertaining parties, or is there anything else I need to do? This is what I get back. The background checks were to be sent to me. I will need you to complete the forms and send to me. Please email them to me as you did the other requirements that you emailed to me. What is this? What is this? You gotta be kidding me. I asked for clarification. None. In those 3 weeks, you never got back to me like you said you would. I had to, email you. I need the job. But I'm already like, wow. If this is the hiring process, what's the job like? And I'm going to be honest with you. Any job that I get, I'm not giving 150%. I'm not. I wouldn't even be able to say that in an interview. This particular job is basically, being a warm body somewhere and just loosely following some instructions. Uh-oh. I don't know what's going on. I think my phone is making a little weird noise when it's by my microphone. See, that's why I miss my old microphone. So today I gotta scan all these things in with my phone, and I'm not even sure how to scan something that big in with my phone because it's like 15 pages, and I've only scanned 1 or 2 documents into a note at a time on my phone. Like, this ain't my jam. So I hope she's okay opening up like 10 different pages separately. So I had to refill them all out by hand and everything. Okay, so another gripe. Yesterday, because I still do my old job, I just do it very part-time. That's all the business there is right now. And a woman messaged me and said, oh, hi, it's, so-and-so. You've done my brows before. And I just look at the last message that she sent. I think it was 2021. Maybe it was 2022, early 2022. I don't remember, but it's been like a year and a half or 2 years or something. And I should have scrolled all the way up. I should have scrolled through the whole messages so I could see who this was. I was like, okay. I said, here's some upcoming openings. Let me know if any of those work for you. And I sent her like 4 upcoming openings. And she said, I'll take the X date, X time. I said, okay, I'm going to send you booking instructions. Now this is probably her at least 3rd or 4th appointment with me, because your original appointment's 2 appointments, and then if you need an additional like little touch up, just a few spots, then I do a cosmetic tattoo. Then that would be like your 3rd appointment, and then I don't see you again for a year and a half, 2 years, sometimes 3 years. So she shouldn't be too new to this, right? So I send the booking instructions. I blocked her, so I don't know if this is still in my, I don't know what happens when you block, if you can still see the thread or not. You can. So, yes, that works. I'll take the X date this time. I said, you got it. I'll send you booking instructions. Let me know what platform you prefer to use. Now, here's the booking instructions. To book, you will need to pay the non-transferable, non-refundable schedule and supply fee. Essentially, it's a deposit, but legally, you have to fulfill a deposit. But a scheduling supply fee means you're taking this much of my time off my calendar that you're not getting back. If anything happens, you're not getting that back, short of emergencies, right? But I'm not obligated to. So you have to pay this much upfront. But anyways, I said you can use Zelle, Cash App, Venmo. Request the link. Do not send to this number, because sometimes people will just rattle off and Zelle to the number that I'm getting texts on, which is a Google number. It's not attached to anything. Stop doing stuff without like how I did with that email. Just making sure I'm doing this right. Like, so it says, do not send to this number. Request link. Or, your other option, respond to this message with your email with your full first and last name so an invoice can be sent. Real simple square processing. I can send an invoice to your email. You can use a card. So you have all these apps you can use, or old-fashioned. When you use an email invoice, you can use a regular card. Okay. Star. Please message immediately after stating payment completion, and star, note that appointments cannot be held without completing this step in the booking process. Business and address. Now, she sends a thank you with a bunch of exclamation points, which always concerns me because we're not done. We're not done. Why are you thanking me? Other than, are you thanking me for sending the booking instructions? But it's usually like, they're not reading. They just took it and ran with it. They took a date and they took it and ran with it. They're not reading it. These are the kind of people that only hear themselves talk. That's these kind of people. So a couple hours go by. And again, I say, sure, what platform would you prefer for booking? And this lady contacts me, WYM. What you mean? Okay, bestie, we're not on that level for you to be texting me WYM. And this is what I mean when I say I'm done with professionalism. Because once you start, I can't do it. I can't do it. I said, did you receive the booking instructions? She gonna say no. She said no, and they're right here. I sent them again. She did. Oh, no, that's the one thing you didn't get out of all this. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. So I said, I just resent, and it looks like, so I started scrolling up at this point, like, who is this? It was a hot mess when I went up into those messages. I said, I just resent. It looks like last time you used email invoice. If you'd like to use email invoice again, let me know. She says, that will work. I said, okay. Since she didn't read anything, she didn't send me the email again. Just an okay. I said, okay, I need your full current first and last name and email. The initial fee is paid and you'll receive confirmation for the spot. It's X at booking and X at appointment. She said, did the price go up? Last time I saw you, it was $65 for freaking yeah, come on in so I can go in the next. I said, if I saw you for $65, it was to do a touch up on a spot. Like an hour appointment, not a 2.5 hour appointment. I will do that for people if they have a few spots I need to hit after their first 2 full paid sessions. Because at that point, I'm working it a little in the red. A little in the red. I said, no. That's been my rate for almost 8 years. If you got a $65 session, that was for a quick touch-up within 6 weeks of a full session. She said, okay. And then I scrolled all the way up and screenshotted that she had my menu from a couple years ago with the same prices. With the same prices. You already know what my rate is. Nice try. Knock it off. Knock it off. So I screenshot it. It's her number at the top. It says, hi, this is X, wondering how much the first time she got my menu. I said, combo blade and shade prices are right there. I said, let me know if you want to wait. Because it's totally understandable, right? If you want to wait, I'm not getting nothing cool for myself. Times are tough. That also means I'm not reaching out and wasting nobody's time. I said, let me know if you want to wait so I can keep that opening available. She said, it's all good. But yes, I still want the spot. I said, okay, sure. She still had not sent me her freaking email. I said, again, I'll need to send out the invoice. So what is your current full name and email? She gives it to me, and within 30 seconds, I sent off the invoice. That was at 1:56 that day. So I had already dealt with this girl for, 4 hours at this point, or 3 hours or something. 3 hours of my time. Not like consecutive 3 hours, but we had been back and forth too much. Too much. So I wait almost 24 hours. No, the invoice was not paid. I said hello. I did not receive payment on the invoice. I must release this slot unless you let me know within the next hour or so, because that would put her right at about 24 hours since the invoice had been sent out. She says, "Oh, go ahead. I will have to reschedule. Forgot I'm going to be out of town for work." So you forgot until when? Until when did you realize it? You just weren't going to message me back and be like, "Oops, I picked the wrong date. I'm going to be out of town for..." No, you just realized that, and then we're like, pish posh. Nobody matters but me. So I start scrolling up. That lady was a hot mess. First of all, she's about my age, and she was asking if her mom could be in the room the first time she came, and my dumb ass allowed it because I was like, oh, maybe she's got anxiety or whatever. And that's probably when I should have been like, "I'm going to give you back your deposit. I don't think you're ready. I don't think you're ready. I don't think you're there. I don't think you're ready to be my client." And then in her healing process, every single day she sent me a picture. Was there anything abnormal about her healing process? No. Was it exactly how it was supposed to go? Yes. Did she have all the information she needed to walk her through the healing process? Yes. And was it matching up exactly with her documents and the extra stuff that I kept sending her, like days 1 through days, just was it lining up with that? Absolutely. Every time a scab would fall, I get a new picture. Do you know how much hours this particular person has sucked out of my life? So as soon as I texted back that, okay, I wasn't going to do that. I mean, at this point in this career of mine, I'm ready to start giving it completely, like, you're out of pocket. You are a habitual line stepper. I didn't. I just texted back, okay, and then I hit those little 3 dots at the top, and I hit block. I am absolutely done. At this stage in my career, I'm done. You're going to have to go find somebody that is newer and willing to do that side of things. Because it ain't me. It ain't me no more. Not even with that, just that career. Just me at the stage I am in my life. I'm not putting up with nothing. Okay, other than that, I started reading a book this morning on audio. And it is called How Not to Raise an Asshole, or How Not to Raise Assholes. I'm going to look it up on Amazon just so I think that would help. Like, first of all, I think that the reason kids are a-holes, toddlers are going to be, they're not their brain. But beyond that, I think there's 2 reasons kids can be a-holes. The first one is that one or both parents are a-holes. Probably should have never had kids. They're not good. They're not good. How to not raise assholes? How to raise kids who aren't a-holes. Okay. And the second reason is parents are good, but teaching kids how not to be assholes is not just modeling. It's not just modeling. it's like actively teaching your kids how not to be a-holes. And I'm not talking about raising people pleasers. So yeah, there is a little bit of a delicate balance. But being a good person does not mean you have to be a people pleaser. So I'll read you the description of this book. How to Raise Kids Who Aren't Assholes is a clear, actionable, sometimes humorous, but always science-based. Always science-based. You know how people hate that shit. A-holes hate that shit. Guide for parents on how to shape their kids into honest, kind, generous, confident, independent, and resilient people who just might save the world one day. On social media, in the news, and from the highest levels of government, kids are increasingly getting the message that being selfish, obnoxious, and cruel is okay. Yeah, and you're gonna get your lights punched out. I hear stories all the time from I have kids that are in their 20s, but I've heard stories all the time, and I'm like, who keeps letting this person get away with this? And the fact that every time they get away with it, all that does is seal the deal and grow the beast. Anyways, on social media, in the news, and from the highest levels of government, kids are increasingly getting the message that, oh, I just read that. We know, of course, that young people have the capacity for great empathy, resilience, and action. And we all want to bring up kids who will help build a better tomorrow, but how do we actually do this? How to Raise Kids Who Aren't Assholes is a deeply researched, evidence-based primer that provides a fresh, often surprising perspective on parenting issues from toddlerhood through the teenage years. Science journalist Melinda Wenner Moyer outlines the traits we want our children to possess, including honesty, generosity, and anti-racism. And then she provides scientifically based strategies that will help parents instill those characteristics on those kids and learn how to raise the kind of kids you actually want to hang out with and might save the world. Right at the opening, she talks about a couple of things that are so important, and that's you don't just raise kids that aren't racist by not being a racist yourself, and how cringe color blindness is. Nobody's blind. It's fine. Color's fine. We can talk about it. You talk about it. Color's okay. It's not something I'm like, oh my god, I don't see color. No, that's so embarrassing. Stop. Also, and I don't know how to articulate this well, and she just kind of touched on it, but your boys are just as special as your girls. Their emotions are just as important. And the for men are so high that we have to recognize that. That your kid will be stronger if you recognize that. They will be more resilient if you recognize that they have emotions and not everything's about, oh, you gotta be tough and you can't let anybody see you have an emotion. No, that's when you get wall punchers. That's where you get drywall punchers that go on to do worse things. So this book is shaping up to be probably one of my favorites. My other two favorites parenting books are, you're not going to agree with everything in every book. My other two favorite parenting books, How to Raise an Adult, which I can't find anywhere because my dumb ass has been through 3 copies and I keep lending them out and don't know where I lend them to. No, from now on, go to the library and find it, people. Can't find it anywhere. I'm just looking over here because that's where my books are. And then Hunt, Gather, Parent, which I read on my Kindle, but I want a copy of it. Hunt, Gather, Parent, How to Raise an Adult, and then How to Raise Kids That Aren't A-holes, or whatever I just told you about. All right, I guess I better get out of my code and get my day started. But if you're still there and you watched this all the way to the end, thank you. I hope that you have a good